Hello and welcome back to another episode of Project Pro Expert Talks. And today we have with us another esteemed guest, Abdullah, and who is an experienced data scientist with over 4 years of experience in data science and is currently working as a data scientist at Amazon. Welcome to the podcast, Abdullah.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Okay, so Abdullah, my first question to you would be how did your early career choices or say your academic pursuits contribute to your journey to becoming a data scientist?
Yes, so while I was doing my BTech in mechanical engineering, so I had an opportunity to interact with my professors. So this was the first time I started to know more about data science and robotics, those fields. And parallelly, I was also preparing for the GATE examination. So if you know, GATE is an examination, a standard examination for as a kind of interest for masters in NITs and IITs. So parallelly, I was doing this memtech and my mentors. So I choose industrial and management engineering from NIT Jamshedpur. And while doing my masters, it exposed to me the various aspects of data science like optimization, Python programming, R programming. And nowadays, I see that many job openings that comes nowadays, they expect you to be someone from a computer science or someone from the operation research backgrounds. Thus, I think, yeah, my choice has definitely helped me in this regard a lot.
Okay, great. Okay, so Abdullah, can you just walk us through your career progression as a data scientist at Amazon?
Yes, so I think it has been around 1.5 year with Amazon, and so in my role, I currently conduct the pilot studies to access the project accessibility, feasibility, and once if there is any success in that, then we try to implement it at a bigger scale, like we scale it to a bigger level. So my responsibilities revolve around like data explorations, writing SQL queries myself, data modeling, all those stuff. So basically, it's an individual contributor role where you are responsible for every aspects of data science. And here I have like the opportunity to work on various kinds of projects. Like one of the projects that I did was clustering, related to clustering. Another is like bullet point optimization. Third was like time series forecasting. Here I would like to give a little bit more details about it so that it will be easier for the viewers to have understanding like what kind of industry relevant projects that is being done. So if I say clustering, so basically in that nowadays if you see the companies are more focusing on the green products. Now basically the aim is that we should reduce the carbon footprints. So on Amazon, when some products is being sold by the seller, so our priority was to understand those segments of customer who is like more inclined towards green products. So using various unsupervised learning, we needed to segment those customers and target them. This was the whole idea of this. Second project that I did was like it's related to bullet point optimization. So anyone who does the shopping on Amazon, they might have seen that when you click a product on Amazon, you can see the titles, the bullet points, and the descriptions written on the homepage of it. So let's say I am a seller, and if I have to list my product on Amazon, so what should be the content of my title and what should be the content of the bullet points? That is what we needed to do through this project. Basically, optimization of the bullet points. So someone and how it should be effective, because anything I put in the bullet point cannot be effective, cannot be appealing. So in this project, we extensively used large language models, which is you can say in boom nowadays. Every new day you can see new models are coming into pictures. And so I've seen like Project Pro has a lot of LLM projects. So I think someone who is a beginner can take advantage of their platforms, your platforms. It will be very helpful for them. And yeah, I have seen here both success and failures. We should always be ready to, it's not like you will always see the success. We should always be ready to face the failure as well.
I totally agree with you, Abdullah. And I think you have done a lot of work that, me and all of our viewers who have been customers at Amazon, we have seen your work in some way or another. So, yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. So, Abdullah, how have your roles evolved like throughout your career and what opportunities have you pursued up till now?
Yes, so I started my career as a data science from a startup. So to be very honest, it was so my whole career was based out of Bangalore, and it started from a startup. So where I primarily involved in the pharmaceutical domain. So in this role, like I made use of tools like Python, Excel, SAS, Python. Of course, nowadays SAS is no more like relevant, but yeah, at that time uh, they told us to use SAS. So here it's noteworthy that some companies would ask you to specifically make use of particular language because of their privacy concern or something. Because if you see this open source language like Python or R, they may not be that safe. But SAS, on the other hand, is quite safe because it's a proprietary product. So yeah, and there in terms of project wise, if you see, I have done on topic modeling, I have worked time series forecasting, marketing mix modeling is another things where a lot of work I have done there. Subsequently, I had the chance to shift to the energy sector. Here, my main work that I did, it was related to OCR projects, so optical character recognitions. Then currently, I am employed at Amazon, where my you can say primary focus is on optimization of Amazon web pages, such as titles and bullet points. And this makes use of extensive large language models and NLPs, those kind of stuff.
Great, great. I think that's quite a wide range of projects that you have worked on throughout your career, Abdullah, and they seem really interesting and exciting. So, Abdullah, since you have had such an, impactful career so far, but I believe every career has its challenges. So, can you share some significant challenges that you have faced as a data scientist, and how exactly did you overcome those challenges?
Yes, so especially in a big organization like Amazon, data accessibility is the biggest challenge what I have seen as of now. Because if you see, if you go with the tribe problems, the data is provided to you, but in a corporate environment, it's totally different. So here, uh, getting the right data is not that easy. So you have to connect with various teams. You have to connect with various owner of the tables to know the data definitions, to know the tables, right tables. So that is one of the main thing. Second thing is that I always felt the need of a mentor, like what should be my next step in my career. That is where I lagged early in my career. So sooner or later, someone has to take a guide. So in this regard, I think if you see, I think Project Pro has a very good, clear learning path, and they give one-on-one mentorship, and they have like vast variety of projects ranging from big data, machine learning, and means they cover quite a bit of aspect of data science. So it's certainly helpful here. Uh, Another challenge that I see is that when we do a data science project, setting up of the environment is quite challenging. So every day, if you see, new packages are coming, new languages are coming. So someone who is a beginner, for him, like it will take hours to set up. But if you have a ready-made lab, that will make your life easier. So I think so. Here also I can go definitely say Project Pro because they have this already set up their cloud labs, and people can enroll in the program and do it like on the go. They can take the advantage. Lastly, I would suggest is that since this field of data science is ever evolving, like every day new things are coming into picture. So we should read lot of research articles. We should read lot of blogs, which will like help us optimize our work. and we can make use of the latest things into our work and increase our efficiency.
Well, I think all these challenges that you have faced in your career till now, and the way that you have, helped yourself overcome those challenges, I think this is going to be helpful for a lot of our viewers who have been, facing similar challenges in their workplace, and they might not have, found a solution for them. So I think, yeah, this is going to be a great help to them. So, Abdullah, I mean, a lot of our viewers would be interested, in joining Amazon or any other similar leading company in data science. So, can you just share your experience of joining Amazon as a data scientist? If you have any advice for the viewers who are, interested in working for companies like Amazon as data scientists.
Yes, so specifically talking, first of all, I will talk about Amazon and then I can give a general view. So basically at Amazon, the interview process was for about 5 rounds. So first round would be about Python coding. So it's kind of elimination round. So mostly they will test your coding skills. So in terms of like how you write your Python code, they would test questions related to stats and distributions, data structures, and string parsing. Those kind of stuff they will test you. Now the next round one is the elimination round, and round two, third, fourth, and fifth. Those are like combined rounds. So the second round will be a SQL round where they would be testing you using the Windows functions or some advanced concepts of SQLs. And third, fourth round is a kind of leadership principles. So if you see, Amazon has 16 leadership principles, and they would expect you, like they will ask questions related to those things. Like they can ask you questions like how you deal a project and how that project shows one of those leadership principles. For example, they are very much focused about customer obsession. So they can tell you, like, tell me a situation where you did a project where you showed customer obsession. Those kind of questions they can ask. And simultaneously, they will test your domain knowledge. They will test your machine learning knowledge, those kind of stuff. And the fifth round, which is the final round, is a bar raiser. So bar raiser is an interviewer who will take a final call whether you should be selected or not. So yeah, so there are 5 rounds. So this was related to Amazon, but in general, what I would say is that, let's say if you're targeting for any specific company, so every company has their own set of the way they judge a candidate. So it's always good that we should be more focused as per them, as per their requirement. We should go through the JDs. That really helps. And also there are coding platforms like Codility and HackerRank. So one should make familiar with those platforms, because if you are someone new and you're given a task to do a work on those platforms, you will fail miserably. But if you are already aware of those platforms, then you can easily excel in your interviews. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So yeah, I think all of these tips and advice is going to be really helpful, and a lot of our viewers might be just looking for these guidance and tips. So thank you for sharing that with us, Abdullah. Also, Abdullah, as the field of data science evolves, what trends or advancements do you foresee playing a crucial role in the future, both at Amazon and in the data science industry as whole?
Yeah, so first of all, what I see is the democratization of the data science, because if you see nowadays, a lot of work is being done in the field of auto MLs or low code platforms. So even let's say if my manager is there, right? So even he can make use of those platforms and do the development, do the machine kind learning kind of stuff. He does not have to be, uh, you can say, an expert in data science. It's kind of simply a drag and drop thing, and you will be able to do your stuff. Second thing is, which I see there is a lot of work being done, is explainable AI. So let's say I will just give an example. If I am doing a loan prediction model, my model can say that a particular person is not given a loan, is not granted a loan. So on what basis my model is saying that? So I should be able to explain it. That is where explainable AI comes into picture. Third thing is like use of generative AI in terms of creating more synthetic data sets. So as of now, the biggest problem is like, let's say if you use platforms like Chat GPT or such things, that there is the issue of privacy concern. So if you give your private data, those models may have access it, right? Now, when you are using a generative AI models, they can be used to create a synthetic data. So there is no privacy concern here. It's very safe, and also using those data, we can have an effective model development. Uh, yeah, these are some of the things that I see.
Okay, okay. So, okay, as a data scientist, Abdullah, since you have, been working in the industry for quite some time now, and you have
Mhm.
worked at Amazon and other companies as well. So, Abdullah, throughout your career, all the projects that you have worked on as a data scientist, what are the some of the, tools that have enhanced or accelerated your work, tools that have been, really helpful and significant in your career as a data scientist?
So as I said, like I started my career. So at that time, it was a startup company. So there we were working on SaaS. But if you see nowadays, most of the advancement is being done in using the Python. So why a cornerstone in my data science journey, I would say, is Python, because it has a plethora of libraries. It has a vast ecosystem of libraries, you can say, like ranging from scikit-learn, NumPy, or matplotlib, PyTorch, which can be helpful for doing the data manipulations, visualizations, machine learning kind of stuff. And another language which I am quite fond of is R programming, because of it can be used for extensive statistical analysis, or if you want to have a greater visualizations of the graphs and all those stuff, R programming is quite handy. Second thing is I would always encourage to use the cloud platforms, any cloud platforms we can pick. But for me, I think it was mostly AWS that I made use of, specifically SageMaker I have used extensively. uh, so if SageMaker is kind of notebook, you do your work stuff quite fast. Then I think another thing is Git, because you will realize that once you start developing a code, you write various versions of the same file, like version 1 of the script 1, version 2, version 3. So later on you will realize that managing such files become quite tedious task. So the advantage of Git is that it tracks your file, it has the ability to convert back to the previous version, and also it helps you to collaborate with the other team members. So Git is something which has really helped. And then I would say IDEs. So uh, IDEs like PyCharm or VS Code, they are quite helpful in debugging your code. So uh, if you go with the normal print statements, that helps you early in your career. But when you're writing a production level code, you have to use this IDEs. Third thing I would say, next thing would be I can say Dockerization kind of stuff, where you organize your all the things in a particular thing, and then you can share it without the issue of versions. So these are some of the things.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so yeah, I think a few of these tools and these platforms would be really helpful for anybody who's looking to work as a data scientist. And Abdullah, again, another question: would you like to suggest any project that beginners in this field should work on when they're actually starting their career in the data science industry?
Yes, definitely I would like to suggest. So to gain a comprehensive understanding of the data science, I think beginners should cover every aspect. So when we say data science, it's about like data exploration, it's about data visualization, and then it's about deployment of. So in terms of exploratory data analysis, one can start with projects like they can explore the toy data set like music data sets, uh, movie data sets, and explore genre, ratings, directors, all those kind of stuff. And in data visualization, they can start with I will just give an example like weather data visualization. They can look at the seasonality, they can look at the trends, uh, they can apply the latest algorithms like Profits, Arima, or they can also do supervised learning, all those stuff. And then I would also suggest like we should also be do couple of projects related to regressions, classification, and unsupervised learning as well. So there, those will definitely help. But uh, to sum up, I would say that start with a small data set which is manageable, because what happens when you take a big data set, you come and face a lot of challenges there. So always start with a smaller data sets. And second thing is that try to keep it simple. Use simple algorithms early in your phase, but as you progresses, try to use more complex models like uh, deep learning, or any deep learn or any complex model you can use. uh, yeah, and utilize the online resources most, because there are a lot of resources available. You can get overwhelmed with it, so try to select the best out of it and do it.
Great, great. So I think, yeah, that's a lot of project suggestions for our viewers. Okay, so Abdullah, one last question. Any misconceptions about data science that you'd like to share with the viewers? Since it's, a
Yes, in
constantly
fact,
evolving field, and there is a lot of, thing that people have, they come across every day on the internet and everywhere else. So if you could just share something.
yes, actually there are a lot of misconceptions regarding this field. First thing is like people think that it is all about calculus and maths, but I would say is that data scientist is someone who is actually a problem solver. Like problem solving is the main part. Like they should try to understand how they can approach a problem. Of course, deep understanding of maths is required, but you see, like nowadays we have a packages available which can really do tasks for us. So instead of bothering too much about linear algebras or kind of derivatives, we should focus on implementation, because we should focus on problem solving. Second thing is like I can say people are confused about the various titles of it. So someone who is starting a career, he can see a titles like data analyst, machine learning engineer, data scientist, business analyst. So early in the career they confused. Of course, there is certain overlap in these fields, certain overlap in these titles, but someone who's starting, I would say pick anyone and apply for jobs, get a job. So one point I would like to mention here is that in a small company, like if you go in a startup, you have to do most of the task yourself. But in a big companies, these roles are different. I mean, as I said, data analyst is different, data scientist is different. Those will be different. But in a startup, you are expected to do everything yourself. Uh, Another thing I would say that people think that data science can solve every problem, but it's not always the case. Because see, every company is customer obsessed nowadays, so they try to solve a problem in as simple way as possible. So if we can solve a given problem using simple if and else statement or a simple rule based statement, then we should not go and use machine learning models. Unnecessarily making a problem complex is not the solution. So this is also one of the aspects I would like to point. Yeah, and I think another thing is another misconception I would say is that people think that bigger data is always better, but it may not always be the case. Sometimes, even when we work with the smaller data sets, we get a reasonable amount of work done. We meet our client expectations using those small data only. Because if you go with the bigger data, it comes with a lot of challenges like maintaining managing those data. You have to use bigger memories, RAM, hard disk. Those things would come into picture. Yeah. And yeah, and one more important aspect of data science is that it's not an isolated field. So when we work in a data science, we have to interact with various teams. Like I would, if I'm working as a data scientist, so I will be interacting with the business analyst. I would be interacting with the subject matter experts, the domain experts. I would be interacting with the software engineers. So this is a, you can say, a collaborative field, like where you have to collaborate with different teams and get your work done. Yeah, that's all.
Great, great. Okay, so Abdullah, I think that's pretty much it. I believe you have shared so much about data science, and I think all of this is going to be really helpful for our viewers who are willing to, join this industry and domain. So thank you so much for joining us today, Abdullah.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much for your time.